Hello everyone, thanks for coming to my channel. So just a caveat which sort of relates to this video. I mean it's linked to the nature of the video. It's my birthday today, or later today, my 36th birthday. And I've always taken birthdays to be a sort of point of reflection. In recent years I haven't done anything big, partly because of the pandemic has been restrictive anyway, but I've just taken the day to kind of be reflective and look at where I am in my life and my goals and what I want to do and just do something that I enjoy, whether that be watching films or relaxing in a coffee shop. I don't even have a specific plan for today. Later today, it's the early hours here in the UK. But with that being said, in that state of mind, I think it's worth considering that, if we overthink the world's problems, so easy to fall into depression about that. If, like me, you are someone who thinks about current affairs, thinks about sociopolitics, it can be depressing sometimes, it can be easy to sink into everything's bad. There's there's war, there's human rights abuses, there's injustice. Seemingly it's abundant, right? But I've always endorsed the caveat that with that, wherever there is cruelty, there is kindness. Wherever there is violence, there's love, there's peace. The world's a big place. It's a small place in the sense that we're all interconnected. The pale blue dot, right? We're in the vastness of the universe. We're a pixel. We're smaller than a pixel, and the world's interconnected and it's globalized. So in all that sense, we're small, but we're big in the sense that it's never ever all bad. Even in World War Two, even at the height of World War Two, there were parts of the world that were at peace. It was a global war, but there were areas that didn't really see much of that conflict. So when it seems sometimes that things get too heavy, it's important to bear those things in mind, to bear in mind that there's always human kindness, there's always decency out there. But also, even leaving that fact aside, because sometimes, especially for people who are in the midst of this, for someone living in Haiti right now, it would be very difficult to see much light, just as an example, or Afghanistan. But just speaking from a personal perspective, when things can feel too overwhelming in the sense of, too much that could possibly get you into a state of depression, it's worth just stepping back a little bit and not always wanting to vocalize things. I'm a pretty opinionated person. I think that's obvious from this channel. But believe it or not, just because I talk about serious subjects in my channel doesn't mean I always like thinking or talking about them. So I wouldn't go up to someone in a pub, for example, a friend, and necessarily say, "Oh, what do you think of the situation in Afghanistan?" More likely we'd talk about more mundane, less serious things. And in my day-to-day life, I think it's very, very important to have downtime. I mean, obviously, this varies depending on what your job is. At the moment, I'm pretty busy. I've got my, hands in a lot of, can't think of a good idiom right now, but I'm quite busy, but I do try to make some downtime, whether it be something simple like listening to a nice uplifting song or just reflecting. That's very, very important. And the thing that I think is very good is to get away from modern technology for a while, go for a walk. Whether it might just be around the block. I happen to live in quite a nice area anyway, but you could go to a park or just do something that doesn't involve a smartphone or a laptop or a tablet. Just get out there a little bit. Um, can be uplifting, can, even if it's just temporarily. Listen to a nice song, watch something funny. There are a lot of ways to distract from the negative things in this world, and I'm consciously trying to do that a bit more. It's not that I was a pessimist. I wasn't. I was somewhere in the middle. I wasn't exactly an optimist or a pessimist. I said was here. I'm somewhere in the middle because I've never been a pessimist so much in the sense that I always know there's good things out there, but I'm not overtly an optimist either because sometimes, life is challenging. And there are disappointments. So I'm somewhere in the middle. But I think it's very, very important to look at positive things. In my own life recently, well, to take 2021 as an example, I've had both a very big disappointment this year and more recently, an optimistic trend. Something good has happened in my life. I don't want to go into details in the video because it's kind of a personal thing, but it's something that's I consider a positive thing, at least at this point. And hopefully it will continue with that trend. Maybe further down the line, I'll speak a bit more about this. But at the moment, it's I want to keep some aspects of my life outside of the channel. That's all. I'm sure people can understand that. But that's all. I think when you're looking at the news or when you're thinking about things that make you angry or upset, try to step back a little bit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having those emotions. I feel them often, but it is important to just step back a little bit. And I'm just saying this as a peer. I'm not an expert, but this is just my experience. When you step back a little bit and distract yourself, even high level politicians don't think about politics all the time. I mean, David Cameron used to say that he would come home and he liked the fact that he had a partner, Samantha Cameron, who wasn't particularly political. Um, I think people who were, maybe two politicians or two journalists or two business people, maybe those sort of relationships would work. I I have a suspicion that probably relationships that have a balance of two different people from two somewhat different backgrounds, at least in one area, can be successful because they balance each other out. But I'm no expert. Maybe two politicians can both distract themselves, or two journalists, or two whatever the case might be. Anyway, I'll round this up, but I want this to be seen as an optimistic video. There's a lot of good out there. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of things to be optimistic about. It might not always seem like it, but if you just think a little bit and you step back, it could be something quite minor. I appreciate the little things in life, and they add up. It might be something as relaxing as, I don't know, watching incense burn or making a cup of coffee, having a bath. These sort of relatively mundane things, it can add up to having a positive state of mind. And I'll leave it there. This is just my thoughts. I'm no expert, but this is just my experience, and I hope people can take something positive from this. So thanks for watching. I might do another live stream soon. Um, I tried different times of that. I'm not going to set a time now because honestly, I don't know. I'm busy, but I will try to do one soon. And you know, all my subscribers, you're most welcome to come along, ask questions, pose questions, make points, whatever the case might be. And wherever you are, have a good day. Thanks for watching.